Yes, good morning. The Centers for Disease Control recommends you not travel at all to prevent catching or spreading COVID-19. But if you must, and as you can see, I am at DTW here. There are folks flying out early this morning. Dr. Meilan Han at U of M says keep these three things in mind: who you're traveling with, how you're traveling, in this case we're talking about flying, and where you're going. Air travel dipped because of COVID-19 this year, but according to TSA travel data, the holiday season appears to be the exception for 1 million people who flew Monday. 7 Action News caught up with travelers last night on any COVID-19 concerns.
A little bit of a concern, but we got masks and hand sanitizer and wipes and everything.
They're doing everything that they can to keep us safe, and the real question is, what can we do to further ourselves in being safe and keeping those practices?
So who do you have in your party? Do you have any individuals that are older with chronic medical conditions that are going to be at increased risk for severe illness should they contract COVID? I think the other thing to think about is, are you traveling by yourself, or do you have a large party, particularly with small children, that you have to manage for social distancing and hand washing?
Dr. Meilan Han is a pulmonologist and professor at the University of Michigan, keeping tabs on risk factors.
It turns out from the data we have that the air flight itself is probably fairly safe given the increased precautions airlines have put on with ventilation and air filters, but you still got to manage the airport.
Keeping distance from people in lines, and again, traveling with small children may be challenging.
If you're heading to DTW, you definitely will notice signs everywhere reminding you that face coverings are required in our terminals. We also have some signage that reminds you about social distancing, floor markings, basically anything that you can think of related to the pandemic.
If the pandemic caused a high COVID case rate at your destination, Dr. Han says you may want to rethink where you're going. And remember, you can be asymptomatic. Now, if you don't have a mask, Metro Detroit Airport spokeswoman Erica Donnerson says there are dispensers here where you can grab a free one. And she says cleaning throughout the airport, it's a normal routine thing even before the pandemic, but she says it has been even more frequent. Now, coming up at 6:30, we are talking to an expert about the financial impact that this has had on the industry, especially during the holiday season. Reporting live in Romulus, Darren Cunningham, 7 Action News.